Hello, my name is Nick Donnell, and my topic presentation is on the effects of 9/11 on Pakistan. 9/11 has affected Pakistan in a plethora of ways. One of the ways has been on their culture. Um, with that, it has affected their culture in a few ways. One of the articles that I read said life in Pakistan before the atrocious attacks of 9/11 was a rather normal, peaceful one. As per the nature of the article, various people were asked what life felt like before the War on Terror began. The majority opinion that everyday routine and other matters were never as bloody and gory as they are today. First off, they claim that the paranoia and constant worry people experience wasn't this rampant before. If there were bomb blasts, there were only a few hither and thither. So just thinking about that, life was rather normal and peaceful, and now that there's bomb blasts more often, increased suicide bombings, increased terrorists running around and kind of ruling the country, if you will. That would cause stress and worry and paranoia. And the citizens are worried if their loved ones or if they are going to make it to work safely or could be able to make it home safely and provide meals and money to provide for the meals. So it's just a constant worry that they have. Before 9/11, there had only been one suicide bombing, which resulted in the loss of 15 lives. Since then, bombers have attacked more than 290 times, killing more than 4,600 people. That number right there is shocking and would causes me some paranoia if I would have lived there for sure. Another way that Pakistan has changed has been economically. Since there's been a lot of terrorists hiding out in the northern part of Pakistan, the United States has put a lot of pressure on Pakistan to increase efforts of capturing or killing these terrorist leaders. That has decreased in funding for schools and educations and decreased funding for health and nutrition programs in their communities. So they're getting less aid where they're needed. The United States has increased the financial aid to Pakistan to fight the terrorists from $9 million to $4.7 billion. That in return should supplement those losses of funding for schools and the nutrition. But the government is not putting those fundings into places where it's needed. And the country has been in a lot of stress and paranoia, and then that's causing the lack of tourism because the tourists are afraid for their lives. Since there's been a lot of less tourism, hotels and places like that have a lot of tourists come and visit are having less money, less funding, and that money and the lack of funding is causing them to shut down. And the shutting them down is causing people to go unemployed. So loss of employment causes more or a less amount of money being spent because there's less amount of money being earned. And so the economy as a whole is kind of shutting down because there is not that money being spent, which is hard, definitely, on the economy. The last area that has been brought up in my eyes is a broader social life. The country as a whole had a decent cricket team and has had a lot of other teams come play them in Pakistan in the past. But now they have to play on the road all the time because other teams are afraid because they're afraid for their lives. And then playing on the road is causing them to spend a lot more money. And if there's a lot less funding, they have a lot less opportunity to play. And so that causes just the social life to be down because they don't have entertainment like cricket there at home. Another way has been that there's been a lot of distrust in the country and the government. The government has been taking aid from the United States to fight the terrorists, as we learned that it increased the aid from $9 million to $4.7 billion. But the country is also aiding the terrorists and also hiding them and working with them. An example would be Osama bin Laden, who was found taking refuge next to one of the biggest military training camps in Pakistan. That's just not awesome. That causes a lot of distrust and worry in the Pakistani people because their government is doing two things and they don't know where to go. And then here are my references. Again, It affected the people socially, economically, and culturally. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.